Record the Movie Podcast, where Sean
and Mampy
watch shit, talk shit, and most importantly, eat shit. We are the law.
And guess what we saw, baby?
Conclave.
Conclave.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby, we saw Conclave.
It's good to do the sort of late 70s blaxploitation voice for this movie.
Yeah. It
hey,
felt
baby.
Appropriate. Yeah. Hey, baby, we gonna go watch a movie about some priests in the
Motherfucker, you seen these cardinals?
And I'm not talking about the bird, baby, but they fly with the outfits
They do got red shirts.
Mm-hmm.
We watched Conclave, starring Liam Neeson.
Oh.
And John Lithgow.
And
Stanley Tucci.
Wait, did you say Liam Neeson?
No, not Liam Neeson. Ralph Fiennes.
I was like, whoa.
Close.
I did not catch Liam Neeson.
Ralph Fiennes is the Liam Neeson who hasn't quite lost it all like Liam Neeson has.
Absolutely.
Which is too bad for Liam Neeson because I love Liam Neeson. But
yeah, he's great when he's coherent and not wild.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about poor Liam Neeson later.
Yeah.
Little do you know it, but we're going to talk about it.
He'll come up.
Conclave, starring Ralph Fiennes, directed by Edvard Berger. Is it Edvard or is it Hunkrank? Bink Tunk.
Tink tink.
A German, the director of All Quiet on the Western Front, that movie that, do you remember it? No, but it was okay.
I never saw it.
It's fine. If you've seen a war movie that's like, it's sort of like 1917 level where it's like, oh, that had some good parts and I just have not thought about it once since.
Yeah, I've blocked it out of my memory completely.
Not everything can be, your Dunkirks.
Your Dunkirks. Your Saving Private Ryans.
Mommy, can I watch Saving Private Ryan?
I want to watch the movie about World War. Mommy, is he okay? No, he's dead. They stabbed a knife slowly into his neck. Oh.
Mommy, is a character gonna not be able to hear anything but their ears ringing every time there's an explosion for the next 40 years?
Man.
They have to do it every time? They even do it in this movie.
Do we have to blame, at a certain point, do we have to blame Saving Private Ryan? Because we're over.
I mean, I'm sure it's probably in some other movie before that, but I feel like that's the one that I remember starting the trend where everybody's like, we must pull out all of the highs. We'll do a low pass filter. We'll go up just so there's rumbling.
Baba Didi.
And then it goes, oh no, I got exploded.
We should do a movie where it explodes and the sound is the same. It's just normal. People are like, where's the ringing?
Oh.
Because it's just like the sound design version of the car hitting someone where it starts to happen so much where you're like...
It happens so much.
Wow, this is... I saw a movie recently and I was like, again? Oh, I know what it was. I'll save it for my panda.
Save it. I think they also do it... I feel like they do it in Copland or something. But I don't know if they... Man, it's been a while since I've seen Copland, but I feel like they do the same bit, but they just keep it going because he's kind of permanently deaf.
Yeah.
So he just can't hear shit, which is too bad.
Yeah, I would honestly rather there just be no sound. Just...
Yeah. So far, I have never been a part or really that close to an explosion.
Yeah, no.
And I plan to keep that going.
Here's to hoping. It does not seem like a good time.
Conclave. This is what the movie's about. Spoiler free.
No spoilers.
The Pope, the old Pope, the Holy Father has died. And all the cardinals in the country gather together at the Vatican or something.
Yeah.
And then they get together, and they're like, we're going to find a new pope. These
try
are the
to-
guys. Mean Italian guy.
Ooh.
Friendly Italian guy, but he's not. He's like an American Italian guy.
Yes.
South African or just regular African guy.
Something.
John Lithgow.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Are the top guys.
Third
who
priest
might
from the Pope.
get elected pope. And also, there's a strange new cardinal that we didn't even know about.
Uh-oh.
He's a Mexican guy who also his journey through the priesthood has led him through Afghanistan and Iraq and all bunches of torn countries.
Yeah.
And now he's like the cardinal of fucking Kabul.
Kabul.
But he's here. Mm-hmm. He's here in Vatican City, baby.
When they first said that, I heard Cabo, and I was like, what? I was like, what? Hold on, this movie is going, yeah. All right.
Hey, how's it going today?
Welcome to church, baby.
I am the Cardinal of Cabo. Who wants to do a body shot?
Blood of Christ.
That'd be fun.
I would be
Body
wild.
shot of Christ?
Hey, I don't think that's offensive. It's still celebrating. It's still a tradition. It's, I think
Jesus
that's
loved
beautiful.
to party.
Hey,
If
you heard it here, folks.
if Martin Scorsese's Last Temptation of Christ is any indicator, he loved to party.
He loved it.
I mean, he did turn water into wine. This is like a hack joke. He did turn the water into wine. It sounds like he likes to party to me.
And let me tell you, he drank a lot of water.
Yeah. Yeah. What if he turned it into water as it's like entering your esophagus? Or no, he turned it into wine as it's entering your esophagus.
Whoa.
So you just are like, oh man, this is pretty good water, I guess. And then like 7 waters later, you're just absolutely trashed.
Yeah.
What do you
that would
mean?
be
I only had water.
Or like what is it, like 60% of your body just turns it on to wine? That would be terrifying.
He turns the water in your muscles and brain into wine and just like.
I think you just die, yeah.
And they're up with the big JC in the Vatican City, and they're like, we got to find out who the next pope is. But there's something going on. Many of these supposed good men, holy men, have been up to something. They have been trying to make their way to the priesthood, through the priesthood, to the papal throne.
Yeah.
And they'll do almost anything
Almost.
to become the pope. And that's sort of the story. It's like papal intrigue. They have in the conclave, they all have to vote to see who becomes the pope. And people are up to something. Almost everybody's up to something, except like the 40 other cardinals that you don't really talk about.
Yeah.
But there's only like 5 actors,
Yeah.
and they're the actors that I would like to see. So let them talk.
Yeah, there's like 25 other people there, but none of them matter. And the 5 do. And that's kind of fun. It's like a play.
Yeah, it's kind of like a play, honestly.
extras, and yeah, this is your cast, folks.
What if you had a play, but it was in a big, nice building, or a few different big, nice buildings, and there were a bunch of extras, and they just sat around and had really cool outfits.
Yeah, I mean, the outfits alone, that's Oscar worthy.
Whoa!
Oscar buzz. I'm already saying it. Oscar buzz.
You heard it here first, boys. The buzz is on.
Award. Start pouring that gold into the mold because we are making another award, baby.
We've got Oscar the Bee, and he's here to tell us about this year's Oscar buzz, and then animate a little bee here.
I sure do think that I enjoyed Conclave. There haven't been any movies this year that are like an Oscar movie. Most of the good movies have been weird shit.
Yeah.
But Conclave is sort of a regular movie for regular people.
Yes, most people can absorb this, but when you get to the twist, which I won't tell you what it is, all the normal people will go, "What? The fuck? What? What is that?"
So that's spoiler-free what happens in this plot, sort of. And spoiler-free, how did you feel about this movie? Did you like
Oh
it?
my
Did you hate
gosh, I had no interest in seeing this movie. The moment you said, I was like, I guess we'll go see it. And I vaguely remember the trailer like months and months ago, and I was like, I don't want to see this crap. I don't believe in none of this crap. I don't want to go do this crap.
Sure.
And, I sat down in the packed theater. I was surprised. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
For a Sunday afternoon, it's
a movie for the
stacked.
olds.
It really was.
The people have underestimated the olds.
And I underestimated them too, because I found myself riveted, locked in, and ready for more. Conclave gave me the type of experience that I like at a theater.
Put that on the poster.
And I hated it. No, it was great. It was great. I was like, I
too had a really good time.
Yeah.
For a spoiler-filled discussion of what we liked and disliked, just follow us over into the next 10 or 20 minutes. Maybe even 30 minutes. Oh, do you have a spoiler-free comment?
We're like, for a non-spoiler discussion, you're going to want to go ahead and go to our Patreon and listen to our paid content. That'd be so dumb.
If you don't want to hear any spoilers, give us $75 each.
Each a month.
Per movie.
Week. Man,
I don't know.
if we made, even if we only had 25 listeners, times 75 per week, wow. That is the type of money that empires are built on.
Hey, we could start an empire.
You never know.
We could be, we could, I see the Twitch. Are they even on Twitch anymore? What's the thing that the famous ones do now? Still doing Twitch?
Yeah, famous like comedians or something. They'll get on Twitch.
The ones that I see where they get punched by another famous person on their stream or something. It's like the guy with the poofy hair who has a bodyguard, whatever his name is, who gets punches, but everybody hates him.
I don't know.
Is he on Twitch?
Maybe,
Okay,
probably.
Cool.
Probably. I mean, it makes sense. If you already have an audience, you might as well make them pay to be your audience.
Make them pay.
Make them pay. This summer, I make them pay.
Priest Lawrence, Cardinal Lawrence has a full group of cardinals in Vatican City, and he's gonna make them pay.
Oh, Cardinal Lawrence. Let's talk about him.
Okay.
What a delight. I loved Ralph Fiennes in this movie.
Is he your beef lamuro?
He is a part of my beef lamuro.
Okay. I'll be honest. Spoilers could happen at any moment from now on.
You better watch out.
We're in the spoiler zone.
What is this thing called? 1, 2, 3, 4. The holy touching of the body? I don't know what that is.
1, 2,
1, 2, 3, 4. Holy touching of the body. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody praise the Lord. Dan, dan. That was probably my favorite part.
Yes.
When they all burst into song.
Well, my name is Lawrence, and I am a cardinal.
But I tried to resign, and the Pope said no.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry. Yeah, we're in the
We said it was spoilers.
Yeah, if they haven't left by now, I don't know what to tell them.
Yeah, we're about to spoil this motherfucker. For instance, big spoiler, huge spoiler,
Massive.
biggest possible spoiler,
Spoiler.
intersex Pope.
Wild.
Intersex Pope.
This
Yeah,
was
I feel like a lot of people are going to be like, what the fuck is, what?
My theater was, it was an uproar. People were like, what?
Yeah.
It was wild.
Yeah.
They were like, I don't know if they were mad or if they were so impressed by the twist. I was like, whoa.
It was pretty interesting. And also, I like that they played it pretty straight.
Yeah.
Lawrence comes in. This isn't my Euro, by the way, though it was interesting. Finds as Lawrence comes in, and he's like, so what's up? I heard you went to the doctor or something.
Yeah, wait.
It's cool that you're going to be Pope. Great, but what's up with you going to the doctor? Are you plum loco or anything?
Yeah.
Is there anything we need to know since we just made you one of the most powerful people on Earth?
Did you catch something down in Cabo, perhaps? Maybe.
Yeah, man, I ate the worm and now I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Party Pope. Party Pope. No, in fact, Pope. Oh, Pope Innocencia.
Innocencia.
What is his actual
Benitez?
Benitez,
yeah.
Yes. Cardinal Benitez reveals that he had some kind of gallbladder surgery as a fucking 40-year-old guy.
Yeah.
And found out that he has ovaries, so he is in fact intersex.
Yes.
And he was kind of like, I was gonna, have a surgery. I was gonna go where the Pope sent me to have a intersex removal surgery. I was going to have my ovaries removed so I could just be a regular guy. And then I was like, oh, well, God made me this way. So this is the way I should be. It was like,
baby, I was born this way.
That's great.
That was, I loved when they cued that song. That is a needle drop I like. Baby, I was born this way. I am the Pope today. That was awesome. I was
Party,
like, wow.
Pope, party, Pope, party.
Pope. Let's go party, Pope, party. Let's go party.
Pope, party, Pope, party.
That would have been a great title.
That really
right
would have given
away.
away the twist, though.
We were like,
Intersex Pope.
Yeah, with a title named Conclave, you're like, okay, I don't know what this means. Is this a sci-fi movie? I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of that term. I knew
that it existed, and I guess at some point in my life I had heard the term, but I didn't really know much about the Conclave other than that it's like a bunch of bros just broing.
Yeah, truly.
Absolutely vaping. Checking their phones for one last time.
That was one of my favorite bits. All of the times where tradition and modern crap just hit, where suddenly a priest is making a Keurig espresso or something. It's just anyway. Yeah, it's just the really tense moment, and then the Pope, the priest guy just takes a huge
name?
Pool. Tedesco, is that
Tedesco, wow, great job. Great job.
I was like, something like
He's
that.
the incredibly mean Italian priest.
Yes, very, what is it, nationalist?
Conservative. He's very old school.
Yeah.
He doesn't want the gays around. He doesn't want the Muslims around.
And the Pope better be Italian, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is my demanda. He was really into it. I had seen him before, but I have no clue where.
I liked him. Whoever he is,
great job.
Whoever you are, hey, on a normal podcast, they might say his name.
They might, but we won't.
Nobody else he's been in. But we instead prefer to say, tweet at us at Food Court Cast. Let us know who played Cardinal Tedesco.
Tedesco.
The Italian.
Cardinal Tedesco.
I'll tell you my best lammy or my favorite part of this movie.
What was
if you don't mind. I liked that this was a movie with some older actors.
Yeah.
Some elder statesmen of the acting craft who didn't have to do a revenge movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Poor Liam Neeson, who I love, and honestly, 1 out of the 8 of revenge movies that he makes, I think are pretty good.
They're fun.
But he doesn't. It's sometimes sad to see him do some variation of the same movie over and over and over and over again. And even Ralph Fiennes, I saw some picture of him all swole with a fucking bow and arrow, and it's
oh gosh,
he's fucking 65 or some shit.
Let him
be in a movie about a priest who is losing his faith and is sad.
Exactly.
That's what old guys should be doing. They should be movies.
Evil wizard. Wizards don't have to be in shape.
No.
They have long capes that cover their bodies.
Yeah.
You go, it's like when winter hits. I feel so good. I'm like, I can cover it all up. No one can tell. And that's what a wizard gets to do all the time.
Yeah.
So let him be that. Gandalf. Let Gandalf just wear his wizard cape.
Are you saying that we need more Harry Potter movies?
And more Lord of the Rings. No.
Finally.
We need an origin for every character. I want to see
What's
where...
Balambadal?
Yeah.
What's Keebledooble?
Keebledooble.
I
What was
would love to see
Keebledooble
what's up with the tree. Who he's I don't know. His name's Franklin Tree Dog.
Franklin Tree Roosevelt.
Ah.
I would like to see how Gollum's cousin got to be where he was.
So
you know,
short.
so short.
Okay, I just like the fact that it's just some guys I like. I like Ralph Fiennes.
Yes.
I like Stanley Tucci.
John Lithgow.
I love John Lithgow.
Great to see him.
Even Isabella Rossellini, who has almost no part.
Yeah.
But in the same way that other than Ralph Fiennes, almost nobody has a part. Like
That's true.
It is like essentially Ralph Fiennes doing all of the stuff.
Yeah, it
Though
is his
there's
movie.
just like great little performances by also Stanley Tucci and John Lithgow and Isabella Rossellini, who has 10 lines.
Maybe, and I was delighted to see
But the
her.
one line is absolutely badass.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
But I just
Got
like
him.
that it's people just they don't have to do. And I am the world's greatest proponent of dumb action movies, but
Yeah.
it's nice when people who are old enough to be my grandfather, and I'm old, when they get to just do a regular movie.
I know, it's nice.
I was just so thankful that it was like, this is a thriller.
Yeah.
There's people talking. There's people in rooms that are cool looking. Their outfits are well designed. This is just like some people they're not having to do a revenge movie. I felt so good
And
about that.
they're not having to be like someone's dad, you know, approving of the the new guy. It is funny. There's like three tiers of like what you can do. Like you're young and hot doing cool shit. Then you're someone's dad, and then you're like, we're reliving our youth, going on a road trip with each other. You know, like those are like the three. It's like, okay,
Yep.
let them do something else, like be in a conclave. How about that? You ever think
Sure.
about that?
More priests, please.
More praise.
What's the best? You know, I said my favorite thing. But
Yes.
What's your favorite thing about this movie?
My favorite thing includes Ralph Fiennes. He is doing a scene. Father Lawrence, which is Ralph Fiennes, he is talking to Father Benitez because Father Benitez keeps voting for him in this because all the priests have to vote for the next pope.
Lawrence keeps saying, just please, God.
stop. Yeah,
I don't want to be the fucking pope.
Yeah, he's like,
Sounds
look.
awful.
Yeah, I don't want to do it. Which I love that about his character. He's like the one person who genuinely is like, I don't even want to be doing this job.
No.
Like
I'm so
I'm
excited
bad
for
at
this
praying.
to be over so I can quit.
Yeah, he kind of has like a what's his name? Oh, is it Ethan Hawke in First Reformed?
Yes.
Like sort of not as extreme, but sort of like I'm kind of over this. I don't really know
I
anymore.
don't get it.
I don't get it anymore.
Why are y'all
It's-
into this?
Yeah.
What's up with this God guy? I don't understand.
Great suits, but I don't really know. But you needed a guy like him to start breaking the rules so that they could discover. Anyway, he keeps talking to him. He's like, I don't want it. And Benitez is like, you're asking me to vote for a man who like does not have the qualities of a pope, but I will vote, so I will be voting for. And he's like, Ray Fiennes just goes, but I don't want it. Like he like gets it frustrated, and then Benitez is like, but you have it still or something. And I was like, oh dang,
It's really good.
Yeah, I love that scene. I just thought because he's muted most of the movie, like very reserved, but those moments where he's like a little bigger, I really like that.
He gets to break free a little bit. At one point he gets to like hold the Pope's glasses and just weep openly.
Yeah,
That's
that
quite
was sad.
good.
When he broke that seal on that door, I was like, oh shit,
It's on now, baby.
it's on now.
And it is definitely a sign of what kind of a well-made movie this is. That like stuff like that, just simply Ralph Fiennes going and breaking a wax seal. You're like, oh shit,
Yeah,
broke the seal.
Exactly.
This is bad, baby.
Yeah, I mean, to be able to do so much with like such a very like simple and contained thing, I really, I thought it was very well made, and I was like, I was like, oh, this is nice. It's nice to see a movie again.
Yes.
Like
It's cool that it like sort of plays like a mystery. It sort of plays like a thriller. It's just like a bunch of people just kind of talking.
Yeah.
Doing their thing. I loved Fiennes. I loved the cast in general. Another thing I loved. I loved the big title. I like when there's a movie, you go see a movie, and then the title fills the whole goddamn screen.
Yeah, I love it. Boom.
I like that.
And especially when the title goes away and it's just a pope like sliding around in a bag.
Yeah.
That was cool too, like how brutal, like them like throwing the dead body on the stretcher while like they're doing all this like ceremonial, like really like careful stuff. Yeah, it was just like real life is happening. It's I thought it was cool the way they shot it. I was like, this is pretty good.
Yeah,
this is cool. Saying a lot without saying a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, baby.
Sometimes you don't have to say it to say it.
Put that on the poster.
Boom, yeah.
Icon gave Conclave 4 thumbs up.
Wow. Oink, oink, oink.
Is there a ghost outside your window, or is that the police?
That's the police.
Okay.
Oh, I also enjoyed Conclave.
That would
I've
be
seen it
sneaky.
6 times because I don't have much to do as a ghost, so I just go to the theater. Okay, we're kind of doing a podcast. Thank you. Anyway, I'll just be out here. All right.
No. And it comes in, makes the alarm sound.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Can you go away?
You're making my least favorite noises right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. As a ghost, I just appreciate all sounds. We really learned to love life.
Were you talking about Ralph Fiennes? I loved him as Voldemort.
Oh, yes. What a great performance.
That's my favorite of his lines. What else is good about this movie, Conclave?
I loved the whole drama with Adayame, the priest.
Yes.
So Ray Fiennes hears like this lady like screaming in the night, and he's like, honestly, quite slowly gets up, and he's like, "Do I check on this? What's going on?" And then he just sees like, I can't remember if he sees a woman storming away or he just sees Adayame closing the door. Something happens.
I think so, yeah.
And then later, there's like a moment in where they're all eating together. Very misogynistic vibe where like the nuns have to set up all of the tables and just the men are just eating. It's like very old school.
It's the way it should be.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know. Okay. Sometimes I think it should be random.
Oh,
some people get to eat, some people get to serve.
Some people don't get to eat at all.
And nobody gets to eat.
Oh.
Anyway, no,
lunch.
the nun causes a scene, and Adayame's having a talk with Lawrence, and it was just very touching to me. I was like, oh man, this cult, because he's just like, do I still have a chance of being Pope? And Lawrence is like, there is no hope. Like that line, I was like, oh God. And Adayame just sits down and starts crying, and he's like, will you pray with me? And Lawrence is like, fuck, okay.
Yeah, sure, I will.
I'm bad at praying, but I'll do it anyway.
I'll do my best, man.
Yeah, I just love that. It was like kind of heartbreaking. I was like, oh man, this guy's life is...
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that part is pretty important for my understanding of the movie. Because, like, I have no connection to Catholicism.
Yeah.
I feel like I went to Catholic church like one time with a friend when I was a kid, but that is my only connection. Yeah. And obviously I know who the Pope is. I know he's important. I know people try to shoot him, so he's got like a Pope
classic
box. And I know that like when he wanders around, people are like, he's Papa. Oh, the Pope. So I know he is important in people's lives, but I feel like that
Sure.
was a good moment to like humanize the urge.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, they're still kind of just wanting to be the boss or something.
Yeah,
it's like someone
exactly.
who's been like working so hard to be a great basketball player or something.
Absolutely.
Working so hard to be, Elon Musk. And then he finds
Finally.
out he can't be Elon Musk.
He just can't be. I've been trying for years. Honestly, I've been trying to grow to that level, and
Yeah.
you
Me
kind
too.
of realize it's a bit fruitless.
Yeah.
You can't. Some of us aren't meant to be
Evil.
that evil. Yeah.
Billionaires.
You go, man. I just can't do it. I don't have it in me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I like that scene a whole lot. He plays it the way it like unfolds is very interesting because at first, because I know nothing about it, I was like, oh, okay, maybe if he explains it to everyone, it'll be fine. But then right near the end, Lawrence is just like, no, you don't have a chance.
Yeah. That's
We've
wild.
had enough sex scandals in the priesthood. You're not going to get one vote. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. That was such a bummer because right before he had gotten like 50 votes or
Yes.
something. And then the cut to him just sitting there at like, he's sitting after and he's just like,
Just all alone.
yeah, that was wild. I was like, oh, God. Brutal.
Another thing I
Brutal.
loved and honestly I could have had even more of it, was the little bits of business that you must do in order to place your vote at the conclave. Like, you have your little card, you write it on, you hold it up with your right hand up, and then you do your little poppy toppy, teepy toppy, poppy tupa. You do your little Latin thing. And then there's like a little cool bowl.
Yeah.
Or I don't know what the fuck that is.
Bowl.
Bowl-ish thing.
Looked like a steel drum almost.
Yeah. Then you put it on the top. You drop your thing in there. And then at the end, they have like this cool thing with like red thread and a needle.
Yes.
And they like stab the needle through every piece of
That
every
was
card
wild.
they get. And it's just like cool little bits that I would assume were real.
Yeah.
Or like when they have like these satin ribbons that they put on the priest's door to like close it until the new pope has been chosen. And, they do like the little wax seal. That really
was
cool.
awesome.
All of those little bits. And the fact that they also have computers is like really interesting.
Yeah, I love the mix of it. Like, it's so funny. It's just like, oh yeah, we're in this modern time. I mean, I see it all the time, like living where I do, like there's a huge like Hasidic community. So it's like pure tradition. And then they're just like on cell phones and riding subways. And you're like, this is kind of, it's just like this like disconnect. It's kind of interesting to me. I'm like, oh.
I also really enjoyed the way that Lawrence kept sort of breaking the rules. Like they are supposed to be sequestered. There's supposed to be no one talking. I mean, I guess people can talk to him because he is the boss of the thing. But he keeps like sending lower people who are lower on the rungs, like other priests and nuns, on little little journeys, little missions. He's like, oh, figure out what the fuck happened with that, and
Exactly.
figure out that as well. And they just like come back the next morning and they're like, what we found out is it's pretty bad. He has a kid and he had her like 40 years ago, and it's cool.
Yeah, that. Oh man. And the time where like the guy, his little informant comes in, and Lawrence is like, no, we're not. I'm not a witch hunter or whatever. Like, I'm not doing like, we're done with it. And then he's like, he gets sucked back in.
Yeah.
He's got to do it.
He loves
He's
to be a
gotta
witch
find
hunter.
the truth. Yeah, he's really good. He's the manager,
Yeah. And then did you enjoy the big twist?
It took me for a loop, but when the way it ended, I was like, you know what? I like that. That was such a wild. I never expected that at all. And it was interesting, like the lines of like what makes a good pope, and like,
Yes.
because clearly Benitez had the best brain about like the whole situation. Like Tedesco wanted him to have like a holy war or whatever. And Benitez is like, you don't know what war is.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen actual war. Like, we need to all like come
It
together
sucks.
on this. Yeah,
War
exactly.
sucks.
And Bellini's like pretending to be like not wanting it, but he actually is like a bit devious. Like I was like, dang, this guy kind of sucks. Like I did not expect that from our fan favorite, Mr. That guy. I forget his name.
I also like the fact that like most of the people who are even like Tedesco is mostly just kind of a shithead, and you don't really like him. But almost everyone else is sort of like, you know, partially good, partially bad. You know, they're like all a little conniving. None of them are really doing horrible things. But like Lithgow, like went out of his way to get the woman that the African priest got pregnant, and then he's like, "Oh, well, the priest, the Pope told me to do it," and you kind of believe him.
Yeah,
and you're like, "Oh, his." Chance to be a pope was just undone by the fact that he did something the Pope asked him to.
Yeah.
He seems so very saddened by that, and you're like, oh, fuck, that's too bad.
Yeah.
But also, he is like set up as a person who seems sneaky.
Yeah, he's very sneaky.
And you don't know, even by the end, you're kind of like, because they go back and forth, they're like, did he get fired? Did he not get fired? Did he?
I think he did. Yes. I don't know why that one drunk priest would make that up.
Yes.
Like that was that was odd. And they like said he like paid the other dude. So I'm like, I think he just was a liar.
Yes.
I loved when Isabella Rossellini's character, the nun, mother nun, I don't know, grandmother, I don't know what they're called.
Grand Wizard nun.
Grand Wizard mommy. She was like, yeah, I know the truth. He did it. And I was like, yay. Yeah. She goes, we women are supposed to be silent, but God has given us eyes and ears nevertheless. And I was like, oh, that was nice.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that was a really good delivery.
Yeah.
And then...
go ahead.
It's just like silent after she tells him. Like, Tremblay's like, like betrayed almost. And then she's like, and leaves. Bye-bye. I love that.
It's also tough. It's a needle well threaded at that moment because it could come off as like a yes queen kind of sort of annoying thing, and I mean, to some extent it is. It's like, we don't have any power. You should give us some power, but you know, I still notice things, and I'm still smart. You dummies.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel sort of cloying or like lame, or at least I didn't think it felt cloying or lame. It just felt like cool.
Yeah,
which is, I think, a tough thing to pull off.
Absolutely.
Like just a push too hard might be like, actually, we do have ears and we do have eyes, and it just could be really awful.
It really is a fine line. It's like this like really stoic, cool lady making a big point that matters, and then on the other side is like a big ass robot in Han Solo, like, I do deserve respect, and you're like, whoa, like, wait, this is like getting a little hectic here, out of control.
That robot is a queen.
She is.
That robot is just such a queen.
I'll never forget that moment. I went, wow, I am truly watching this on a big screen.
I'll never forget realizing I was watching it.
That is something, when you become aware you're watching a movie, that's not good.
Oh, yeah.
You want to be so sucked. Conclave, I was like, I am in this. Yeah. I live in this Conclave.
Take me down this goddamn hallway. Yeah. What's going on in this hallway?
What's going on?
I like the 3 little square holes in the doors.
Yes.
Just everything is just so beautiful.
When the doors, the blast doors come up and the light washes in, you're like, wow.
It's nice.
Beautiful.
Seems bad.
I loved when, after the explosion, there's just like everyone's voting, and then they hear like the sound of like the actual planet, and everyone takes a moment. They're like, oh, wow.
That was really cool, because you definitely get this, like, you know, you hear when they're talking about the OJ trial, like once they had their chance to find him not guilty, they like came back in like an hour. And like you definitely see that same energy where they're like, okay, let's vote, like, maybe we'll figure this out. And then they hear like tootie tweet. They hear the birds and they're like, I want to vote.
Yeah,
I gotta get out of here. I gotta get back to my phone.
Yeah.
And they go so fast.
They really
And
did.
immediately pick a guy.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the explosion was kind of, it's funny. We had Joker 2, which is very similar, where it's like the whole thing is this like kind of set in this like trial or whatever, or this is like set in a vote, and then there's this big like. I think this was pulled off better, obviously.
Yes, definitely.
But I did like the kind of symbolism of Lawrence finally being like, fine, I'll vote for myself. And then like, and God's like, no, don't do it. Well, I don't know if God was someone throwing a bomb and blowing themselves up. Maybe
God likes to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He's weird.
Weird guy.
Do you have
or lady.
Oh, go ahead.
Or Thady. You never know what the ultimate being is. Maybe the ultimate being is all of us.
Theody? Did you create that phrase?
Yeah.
I've never heard that one before.
I say they'dy, themtlemans.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that'll really ruin your day if you hear it as like not a joke.
Yeah.
If you're at a show and somebody's like, how's it going, ladies and gentlemen? You'll be like, oh, God, I got to get out of here.
Here we go.
This is not going to be a good show.
This is not going to be good. You got to be real careful with the terms.
Terms of endearment. Is there anything else you loved about this movie, or do you want to talk?
I liked when Lawrence,
Shit.
I think he goes to pray and he looks up. They like show a shot of the headboard and he looks up and the Pope is like sitting there looking at him. And I like that kind of like foreshadowing of finding the documents behind the Pope's headboard. I was like, that was nice,
cool too.
Nice thing. I really like when he's talking to Lithgow and he's like, he's like bringing up all this evidence about him, and Lithgow's like, wow, I can't believe you would stoop so low. Like, I'm going to pretend that this conversation never took place, and he like leaves and Fiennes is like, but it has taken place. Like, he's like, enough of this. Like, let's just be honest.
Yeah.
It's like, I really like that.
I know you think that just because you're a priest, you can do whatever the fuck you want, but I'm the dean of the priests, baby. Yes, it's good. But is it good?
But is it good?
I'm about to drop a low main on that ass.
Boop, boop, boop. Drop that low main.
My low main for this picture, my least favorite part, is some of the lighting. I felt like, okay, so they do close the blast door or whatever those doors are for the Conclave. And then everything felt like sort of underlit to me.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. It was not a big thing, I guess, but I did sort of feel like, I love these guys. I want to see their face. Like, I'm trying to like get something out of my eyes, or just kind of squint so I can see it a little better.
Yeah.
And I thought that, like, I mean, maybe this is just a matter of, they were like, okay, well, do they not use lights? I don't really understand the purpose of it existing. Because they do have lights in the lunchroom, right? Don't they have like fluorescence in there?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's just like, it feels more sacred or something.
Yeah, maybe so. That might be true. Yeah.
Candles.
I just almost wish there were some candles or something. Because sometimes it was fine. Like when there was like a good source of light, it was fine. But sometimes it was just like, well, Stanley Tucci is well lit and Ralph Fiennes isn't. And it's weird.
It's distracting me.
Yeah. Where it's like...
Yeah, I could see that for sure. It didn't really bother me as much, but I could definitely... It didn't... Yeah, it wasn't like blasted with light or anything.
No, it was not. It was
only
also a little gray. Kind of a gray movie.
Yeah, a little gray, little dull.
Yeah.
I kept waiting for the nun from the Conjuring universe to show up. I was like, oh, okay, this is not related to that.
This is not the Conjuring. It still could be.
You never know. Conclave 2 coming out next year.
I would
the
love
continuation.
To see that.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Maybe, what if that's what Ralph Fiennes is like all jacked or like the sequel, he comes back and he's like,
Conclave 2. When people find out that there's an intersex pope, they're go insane. They're like, you gotta kill him. And then Lawrence is getting,
wow.
stay away from my pope.
My pope. What if when they burned the letters after the vote, they did like blue and pink
Ooh.
smoke? And it's like, it turned into like purple. It was like, ooh.
They twist through the air.
Which purple is like the
heart?
spiritual color. So maybe there's something there,
that's
folks.
true.
Maybe we need to open our minds and our hearts.
I would suggest people open their minds and hearts.
I say it every day.
Say it.
So open your mind and hearts. You heard it right here on the Food Court Movie Podcast.
Tweet at us at Food Courtcast if you have an open heart and an open mind. Let us know what your favorite activity is once you've opened your heart and mind.
You gotta do it. Try it
like
out.
playing pickleball,
love pickles.
cornhole,
I love corn.
taking a swim,
I love swimming.
riding a bike.
Never done it.
What open-minded and open-hearted things are you up to this week?
Let us know, and we will get back to you.
We'll see you in the comments. What's the worst part, though, Mampy?
Yeah, Milo Main.
Say it.
I get why they did this. I know they wanted to focus just on the conclave and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But I found it a little cheap feeling when they wouldn't show like the crowds or anything.
Yes.
Like it was like kind of that. Sometimes in a movie when they're just not. Sometimes it feels like they just didn't have a budget for it.
Yes.
So it doesn't have like a car crash. You just hear the crash or something. And like it's like, okay, y'all just didn't have. Because they do the smoke and you hear, woo! And there's no visual of anything the whole movie. And I was like, I get it. It makes sense.
Sure.
Let's focus on these priests. But it felt a little off. Sometimes I was like, I don't know.
I also wondered, it seemed like at least, someone would hand Lawrence a newspaper or some shit.
Yeah.
Like there's like a big terrorist attack. I don't know. Maybe he can't look at a newspaper. I mean, how he can't look at a newspaper, but he can talk to some other priest about everything that's ever happened to these people. Who knows? But, maybe he's trying to follow the letter of the law, if not the, meaning of the law, or the other way around. Hey, tweet at us if you know which phrase works in that circumstance, please.
Yeah, what are we talking about here? The line... It is interesting because he's like, well, I won't listen to the news, but I will break the seal on the dead popes.
I'm going to break the fucking seal.
Well, that's why the Pope come around. And he's like, this guy doesn't play by the rules when it really matters. It's like, you got to break the rules, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
This is a sassy movie. I do think this is another thing that I think could have been done better, at least in the marketing. They sort of portray it as a thriller.
Yeah,
but I don't know if they portray it as effectively as a thriller as they could. Because it's like, it's really fun.
Yeah, it was a fun
It's like
movie.
one of those, like, oh, there's intrigue, there's people up to stuff, but it's, maybe it's just hard to present that case to the audience, but it's also, like, pretty funny. There's, like, there's popes, there's potential popes speaking in really plain modern language.
Yeah.
That is really another interesting thing, like that juxtaposition of the kind of ancient, plans that, I guess, Christianity isn't that ancient, but the old-ish way that they do everything where they have their special outfits, but also they're like, I don't know about this. That guy's stupid. I hate him.
Yeah.
He's a jerk.
Exactly.
That guy, I hate him. I hate him so much.
Yeah, the like bickering and politicalness of it. It was just like, this is very telling.
And the gossip.
Yeah.
And also, this is another great part, when the way they introduce Tedesco is first someone talks about him. They're like, oh, where's Tedesco? And finds is like, oh, wouldn't it be better if he doesn't show up?
Yeah.
And they all laugh. And then he shows up and he's like, hey, how's it going? And someone tries to grab his bag to carry it, and he's just like, no,
no, yeah,
He like slaps his hand, and you're like, oh shit.
yeah, just like
Guy sucks.
so clearly not who should be Pope.
No.
And Lithgow is like not who should be Pope, but
No.
like sneakily.
Yes, he's just he's like not necessarily evil. He's just like not good.
Not great. Yeah, no.
It's just like being very, very sneaky.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, what a pope shouldn't be, in my opinion.
Yeah, don't do that. Oh, I love the scene where I just remembered where Lawrence is trying to photocopy all those incriminating documents.
Yeah.
And Isabella Rossellini's like, "Father, can I help you?" And then she looks at it and she's like, "How many copies do you need?" That was a nice moment.
101.
Boop beep. That was really funny. I love like
it works.
never did I see that coming, like a scene where he's trying to photocopy and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's so funny.
It's
like
cool.
that. Yeah, I liked it.
I mean, it's tough for me to like a priest.
Yeah.
Because they, as I've said in a bit that never works, they have the worst PR team
Yeah.
of all time. Like police and priests.
Yeah.
I've never heard a good story about either one of them. I've never heard one positive story.
No.
about
Or
either
them
of
trying
them.
to explain it
Yeah.
away, and you're like, that doesn't help.
Hey, listen, I've once met one priest who was a good person.
Yeah, we're not all bad.
Did you?
right?
Did
Yeah.
Did you do that? But we can't. Wait, can we only?
Yeah.
Do you have
we
anything
can.
else you want to say about that?
I got nothing.
To close, it's good, and I had a really
Yeah.
good time.
It was a great movie.
I'd like to see it again just to see how the twist kind of works on me the second time.
Yes.
Because that is another thing that I felt like they did pretty well, but also maybe could potentially seem, I don't know, like a little like too, I'm a lib, I'm supporting, trans people kind of thing.
Yeah.
I truly don't know if that is how it will work, but I felt like they got it about just right.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't too big of a thing. It was
Exactly.
just kind of like, this is who I am. I found out this is who I am. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
And he's
Hey,
like,
look.
I mean, you got me there.
I'm still devoted to this, and I'm the most level-headed person, probably because.
And it's too late, also.
Yeah.
I'm already the fucking Pope. What are you going to
Yeah.
do about it?
I love how the little informant was like, "I just wish it had been different." Like he's like a little. He always was revealing stuff way too late. It's like,
Yeah.
why are you telling me this now?
You're doing a bad job.
You're doing horrible. But
Oh, wow.
you know what? I do like the purple suits over the red suits.
They're
even though
cool.
they're lower.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be a cardinal anyway.
No.
Let me be a fucking bishop. Is he a bishop?
I want to be someone who lives there, but it has nothing to do with the church. Like they walk by it sometimes and they're like, "Wow, look at that." That's probably my role I would take.
You say Mamma Mia a few times.
Mamma mia, it's the Pope Pia.
But we can't only talk about Conclave, which I tried to call like a million other names this week.
Yeah.
It's like Cappuccino.
Cappuccino.
What is this movie called? Corndon?
Priest rave.
Corndon?
Corndon.
Is it called Corndon? We can't only talk about Conclave. We got to talk about other things. For instance, the other movies we watched this week, which brings us to a segment we call Sand Express Presents. Express yourself about the movies we watched this week. Play that music.
Ding 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 ding. It's time for the Panda Express. Boop boop, because we got some things expressed deep deep about the things we watch. Boop boop this week. Ding 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 ding.
Did you watch any films this week, Mampy?
I watched 3 films.
Okay, I got a few, but I only got one that I really want to talk about. So
Okay.
you go ahead.
First, I watched Day of the Dead.
Fuck yeah!
Because this was still before Halloween.
Joe Gordon! Joe Gordon!
A wild movie, a very wonky, weird movie, I thought. But
Very wonky.
yeah,
Yes.
it felt like a play, very
Yes.
playish.
Yes.
But with fun moments and gruesome stuff. And then when the shit goes down, it goes down. You're like, oh my
baby.
God, they do not shy away. They are ripping people apart. It is wild.
It's really a masterpiece of effects.
Yeah,
Like,
very
it's
good.
It is the level. I don't know what it is about that certain time, but it's sort of the time when effects looked the most disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like stuff in Dawn of the Dead is like pretty gross. But for some reason, Day of the Dead is just like so much more like yucky.
Yeah,
They're ripping people apart, and you're like, oh fuck, oh my god,
exactly.
And it's just a good ass movie.
Very well done. I was very impressed.
It is super weird.
Yeah,
They've got like a
odd.
zombie jail underground.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah,
They're training a zombie to see if they can train zombies to be like their dogs.
Yeah,
It's
very wild movie.
Amazing.
Which, wasn't there a movie called like Fido?
Yes.
With a zombie. That's based, it must be based off
Yes,
of that.
I think they were
has
like,
to be.
what if that one scene was a movie? Which is kind of what people do with most of his movies, most of Romero's movies. They're like, oh, that one scene could be an entire movie. Let's do that.
That could be a whole movie.
Yeah.
I like Dead Dead. I think maybe there was like 5 too many scenes of the exact same, like, I'm the guy in control, lady. It was just like, we
There's
had
a
the
lot of
scene
that.
already. Yeah. So, and like them always being underground was kind of a bummer. I was like, this space is,
It is
not.
very depressing.
Yeah, it's not very exciting to look at.
No.
But it was, once I started going, I was like, all right, now we're going.
Once it kicks into high gear, you're like, well, I get it.
And the crazy opening shot, we love it. We love to see it. What a shot I
You
went.
mean all the arms?
Yeah, all the arms. And
So fucking scary.
it reminds me of the weapons room from Tremors. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
Of that it feels like a very similar type of building. Anyway, I don't know. I just clocked that. I was like, oh, that reminds me of that little space where Reba and her husband got all them guns.
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
It actually reminds me of Jean Cocteau's La Belle et la Bête.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Belle, belle, ma belle, la belle, la bête.
I watched a lot of movies, but the one I want to speak about is one that I've spoken about on the show before. Prince of Darkness.
Oh, classic.
John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness.
Jean Carpy.
I've watched it a million times. Every time I watch it, I think, wow, this is one of the great ones.
Yeah, that's a nuts movie.
It's just so cool.
Talk about gross effects.
Yes. Tons of little gross bugs.
Nasty.
People's faces just ripping apart, getting yucky. Green goo spraying in your mouth.
Yeah, not good.
Just a deeply upsetting ending.
Yeah.
Incredibly sad.
Oh, so sad.
So sad. Very scary. It's just so good. And that is very similar to Conclave, where they have to make it seem like the world is ending with like, I don't know, 25 people.
Yeah, exactly.
So like the representation of people have gone mad is like, I think literally 12 people.
Yeah.
You just have to go, well, that's all
it.
they had.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all they got.
If he had $50 million, he probably
would've
would have
done
gotten
it.
a few more extras, but he didn't. But it's just got almost every person I would ever want in a movie of this kind. You know, it's got like fucking Loomis. It's got fucking Egg Shen.
Amazing.
It's cool. Good movie.
Yeah, that was a crazy movie. It's so freaky too. Like, what a freaky movie.
Yeah. Hey,
One of the best.
God. Hey, did you know that? Did you know that the devil has a dad?
Devil's daddy.
Great idea.
The devil.
What if the devil has a dad?
The devil got a dad.
What if the devil was a high C ecto cooler?
Yeah.
And what if the devil had a dad?
The devil's dad is scary.
And the devil's dad is on the other side of a mirror.
And he's
Spoiler
like,
alert.
Yeah, he's freaky.
You want anything else?
Yeah, so I have a tradition every year on Halloween. When the time turns from Halloween to November 1st, I am watching Nightmare Before Christmas. So I did that again.
Ooh.
The classic. Love it.
Good flick.
It makes me happy every time.
What's this?
What is this? You know, it really makes you think about it. And at the end of the movie, the DVD, because it's locked behind a paywall of Disney Plus, I had to watch on DVD.
I'm sorry.
They read the poem, the original poem of Nightmare Before Christmas.
Really?
Read by Christopher Lee. And he's like, "'Twas the night before Christmas." I can't do his voice, but something like that.
That sounds kind of like him. Oh no, I've gotten so old.
Yeah. It was good, though. But in the poem, there is no Sally. I was very surprised. I went, what?
Fuckers.
No Sally? Anyway, but I also watched, finally, a wild flick called The Substance in theaters.
Baby!
That was a wild ride, I tell you what.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I went and the ticket taker said, "What, you're just now seeing this? You come all the time." I was like, "Yeah, I know."
It's true.
I know.
But you got out to see it. That is important.
I thought it was pretty good. It was funky, wild. Some stuff, I was like, I don't know about that. Of course, there's a car crash. I was like, great, here we go again.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know. Just suddenly.
How can they be out of nowhere?
Makes no sense.
They're always
but
out of nowhere.
I thought it was fun. It was a little wild. It kind of didn't make any sense sometimes, but it didn't need to. It was just like, this is a wacky
I too
idea.
had a good time.
Yeah, I thought they did a good job.
I don't think it will be on my top movies of the year.
Fine.
But it will be at the edge.
Yeah.
It'll be in like the top
Almost.
27 or so.
Sure.
Top, I don't know, 16?
I got to keep up with my letterbox so I know what movies we watched. Oh, I guess I could just look at the podcast
Yeah.
listing.
Yes. You watched Conclave this week, right?
I did.
Me too.
I better letterbox it.
What are we watching next week? Is Heretic coming out yet? What are we watching?
Oh, yeah, Heretic will be out. I think it will be out by the time we do the pod.
Also, I had forgotten there's a new movie starring Tom Hanks that came out this weekend.
Oh, right.
With Robert Zemeckis.
Yes.
They have just barely tried to make us watch. It's very interesting.
I don't know. If I
It does
can.
not look good.
Sometimes the gimmick of like, but this gimmick sucks. Like, I don't get.
Yeah.
I get what you're doing, but it's like, I don't want to watch a movie set in one room.
It's going to get really boring.
Yeah, and so forced. Like, even from the trailer, it was like, this feels so forced. Like, this angle, this room, like, I don't know. I just need, I don't know. There's also We Live in Time or something.
Oh, yes.
Which they started editing out the horse from that poster. I started noticing because everyone commented on the horse.
Pretty cold-blooded. Tweet at us at FoodCourtcast. What do you want us to watch?
Yes.
Hopefully not here. Ideally not here.
No.
And also, there was another movie that I saw earlier this year called Here that was about moss that I think I've already told you about. So it's 2 Heres this year.
2 Heres this
2
year.
Heres this year. Tweet at us at FoodCourtcast. Give us 5 stars on your favorite app. Comment, like, subscribe. Tell a friend.
Tell them all.
And don't forget to put your hands together. Just be at home alone and put your hands together for Mampy Hikes. A big hand for Mampy Hikes. Mampy, on behalf of you, Mampy, my name is Sean Parrott, and I'm here to say to both of us, Bon Appetit.